Most of you probably played some Age of Empires or Rise of Nation games in the last 30 years, so I do not have to explain the concept of real-time strategy games, which include base building and a resource economy, in order for you to understand this new game I'm showing here. But now imagine if someone added elements from a game like Rust into that gameplay mix. And Rust, for those who do not know, is a very popular multiplayer survival game with a bucket load of crafting and alliance breaking. What you now get when you mix the two is an RTS game titled Coloniser, which is set on an alien planet where human colonists regress to medieval customs of smacking each other over the head with sticks, stones, and occasional swords, while trying to survive on minimal food and maximum aggression. The small and brave indie studio called Cantos Games is led by its founder Paul Reichelt, a fellow RTS fan turned game developer, as they are working on bringing us an isometric and grid-based massively multiplayer RTS with a stylized art style. So what does massive and multiplayer mean for Coloniser? It means up to 90 players fighting it out for 90 days on a single server with the possibility of rejoining the match after being eliminated. Right now, however, their public demo / playtest supports 16 players, and during the last NextFest, more than a few people tested it out. And since that NextFest demo, the developers are focusing on improving animations and visual effects, adding more buildings and units, as well as improving their formations and tactics in combat. They are also adding more complex looking maps, upgrading the UI, increasing the maximum player count, and sponsoring this video so more potential players like you discover their game. These improvements and more is what you can expect to see in the future playtest version of Coloniser on Steam, which is going to be left active up until its early access release. This is a very interesting way of keeping the game both active for players to try and for developers to read feedback on each new iteration. It is a new approach to game development that I have noticed more and more indie developers take, with the hope that by players actively participating in testing new versions, the final product will be more in line with what those players actually want to play and pay for. The demo and playtest of the Scouting is being used by its own solo indie developer in the same fashion. This is why he posts patches regularly and even goes back to previous versions of features when players are against the changes. This means developers of Coloniser also have to take the same approach and keep their ear low to the ground, read player feedback, and make quick patches and content updates to adapt the gameplay to their player base. The danger here is, of course, of the feedback and patching system living in an echo chamber, directed by only a handful of the loudest players, crafting a game best suited for their gameplay style, something others might not end up enjoying as a final product. It is a double-edged sword, and I hope each of these developers is aware of this. Now, as for the factions in Coloniser, you have the Keepers, who see themselves as the guardians of the original crash site, clinging to hope for rescue and have declared their land sacred. The Odysseans are the opposite, as they have become nomadic explorers who adapted to the new planet, while the Puritans went a step further and rejected all advanced technology, planning to live in harmony with the new biome. No matter which of these you choose as the player, you can still trade with the other factions and create alliances. When it comes to planned game modes, you can expect these to grow in number as players customize each new match through options and choose will they play with friends and form a private dominion or try to achieve one on a public and open server. The gameplay itself will be easy to pick up as you start very small with a few workers and grow your settlement and your army by harvesting resources and hunting animals found around your starting position, while later food can be grown on farms. Wood and stone can directly be used for construction of walls, towers, and even castles to protect your production and population buildings, with gates being only ways in or out. Yes, there is a soft population limit, meaning constructing more homes gives you more open slots to recruit spearmen, bowmen, cavalry and siege units necessary to tear down enemy walls. Tech does play a role in this game, with researching advancements unlocking new units and buildings for your faction. Obviously, Coloniser has a long road ahead to achieve the polish and stability players expect from a multiplayer RTS game, especially one that keeps its matches running for up to 3 months. Now, how exactly does the game run while you are offline, you might ask? Well, when you are offline, all your units and buildings go into defensive mode. Additionally, devs plan to have auto-garrison and patrol mechanics to help with defense, as well as showing your online allies who is getting attacked so they can help you. One future possibility is your allies being able to produce their own units from your buildings or take over direct control of your units to defend. I hope you will keep an eye on this brave new attempt at reviving the massive multiplayer aspect of RTS games, wishlist it on Steam, and as for more new RTS games, check out the cards on the screen and links in the description. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!